the number one most important person in the equation of real estate investing is you.
Yep.
The real estate investor.
Yes.
The qualified buyer.
Yes.
The number one aspect of this entire business is us.
Welcome to the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast, starring Q the Boss.
Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. Listen, I got a special guest. I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? Because this guy is from my neck of the wood, New York. Stand all the way up New York. We got somebody in the house that's from where we from. Anytime I do this podcast and I get to bring someone from my neck of the wood who's really putting on, I love to give them their flowers, because they say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And my God is definitely out here making it. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, man. Tell them who you are, man.
First off, appreciate it, man. At my best 197. That's what they know me as on Instagram, on all other social media platforms.
Okay.
Let me give a little quick who I
Yeah.
am.
Bring it down.
Well, we was actually talking about this before we got on here about coming from the islands of the Caribbean, right?
Yes.
So I'm first generation Haitian American.
Sac passe.
Sac passe, right? I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, and now I reside out here in Long Island. And people know me for investing in real estate. So I talk about real estate. I'm sure we're going to dive into that really heavy. I like to share with the people the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate. And I like to talk about real estate from an authentic position, from what I've actually gone through, good, bad, and ugly.
Yes.
And that's who I am.
Listen, guys, one of the things that enticed me about this man, as far as getting him on this podcast, most of the investors only show you their net. They never show you gross. This man goes in depth. I'm a real estate flipper and investor myself.
Actually, it's the opposite, if I could correct
I'm sorry.
Good.
No, go ahead.
Most of the investors like to show you their gross,
Okay.
not their net.
Agreed.
And it's about what you put in your pocket.
Agreed.
So,
So when I started seeing this, I'm like, yo, my man is showing the truth about real estate, because everyone glorifies it. And the reason why they glorify it is because they make it sound easy. We're in a world right now where so many people are trying to step up. But it's guys like him who actually give you a platform and show you that it's feasible, but he also shows you that it's not as easy as you would like to believe it is, right? We have horror stories. We have war wounds, right? And a lot of people don't act like they just, I made this amount, this is it. Let me ask you, as a man, what was one of the worst tenant stories you ever had? The names will be held back to protect the innocent.
Listen, bro, I deal with horror stories with tenants daily. So people just see a small glimpse of the things I deal with tenants, as far as destroying fully renovated apartments,
Yes.
Not paying rent for a number of months or even years. You know what happened during the pandemic.
Yes.
So I can't say that's the worst. I deal with it daily.
Yes.
I deal with it daily, but I put that out all the time. And it's the funniest thing in the world when I'll have people in the comments section that'll make comments and they'll say, damn, bro, you need to maybe consider a different line of business because you always showing these issues with these tenants.
Agreed.
But that's the nature of the business,
Agreed.
So I share with people, tenants either not paying rent, destroying your apartment, sneaking relatives and other people that shouldn't be living in the property, backup sewer, you name it. I put that out there.
Yes.
Because that's the nature of the business. So,
Yes.
I like putting it out there like that so you could see. And then I like to show how I overcame that obstacle that came with that situation.
I love that. See, guys, when you deal with real estate, you have to understand that it's a business like anything else.
Absolutely.
But there's another question I have to ask you. You just said a minute ago that you're from Haiti.
Yeah.
How did not going into the educational world affect, or how they felt about that?
Well, if anybody's Haitian, I mean, I'm sure the Caribbeans could relate to this too.
Yes.
If you're not a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, an accountant, then you're a failure,
I'm
right?
happy you said it.
So, as a child, I got introduced to real estate at a young age. At the age of 7 years old is when I got introduced to the idea of real estate, but I didn't know how it was going to affect me later on in life.
Okay.
But then proceeding with growing up, going to, elementary, middle school, high school, etc., I put it in my mind I was going to be an attorney.
Wow.
So from graduating high school, I went to John Jay College to start studying law.
Okay.
And my parents, my family, my grandmother, God rest her soul, was ecstatic because Welby's going to school to be an attorney.
Agreed.
My first year in, I'm going through the process because I wasn't a dumb kid. I wasn't the smartest, but I wasn't a dumb kid.
Yeah.
And one day I was speaking to a graduate. I was dating this a graduate student.
Yes.
And I was talking to her, and she came from a rich family.
Okay.
And we were talking, and somehow or another the conversation came up about money and about income.
Okay.
And what I was told, what I was presented to me, that most attorneys make, I wasn't going to be satisfied with that. So that year was the last year of me going to school, and I had to figure it out. So yeah, in our culture, they believe that if you're not gonna go get a job, if you're not gonna get those type of educations to then use that as a career, you're a failure.
You know what? It's true. And what's really sad is the entrepreneurial thing is actually frowned upon in a sense from a Caribbean background.
Absolutely.
Which is not good because some people learn books, some people learn hands-on, and some people learn actually just being told. So it's different factors, and I see that I'm a hands-on kind of guy. I like to get my hands dirty. I'm the kind of guy to be sweeping up in my businesses. I don't mind. So that's why that mind has to be proactive, right? But sitting in a classroom, I can learn, but it's not my forte. It's not my forte, but I can do it. But what I'm trying to say is, like, when you look back now, what ultimately prepared you to even be able to handle the pressures of the real estate game?
Honestly, bro, what got me to handle the pressures of the real estate game was the pressures of life. I'm keeping honest with you with that. So, going back to what I shared about getting into real estate, I got caught up in the same hype that a lot of people did when I started buying in 2003. So all people remember, maybe the young people don't remember the late night shows that would come up with, like, the guys like Carlton Sheets.
Yes.
And even when you would have real estate shows like house flipping and things of that nature,
Yes.
they would portray this image of investing in real estate. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to create that themed style property.
Yes.
And I thought that that's what real estate was.
Yes.
At the same time, my back was against the wall. Life happens.
Okay.
I'm working, but the ends aren't being met.
Agreed.
The ends aren't being met.
Agreed.
Right. And I needed to try something.
Yes.
So when I did try investing in real estate, man, I tell y'all, man, I could talk to this camera.
Talk straight.
The lies that's put out to these people out here.
Yes.
The lies that's put out to these people out here.
Talk to them. They need to hear it.
That's what we're here for, right?
Yes.
That's what we're here for. The lies that are put out to these people about the investment in real estate, the stories that I hear that people put out here in 2022, 2023, you guys ain't learned y'all lesson yet?
It's called cap. A lot of cap going on out here, man.
But let me tell you something. I got caught up with it too, though.
We all did.
I got caught up with it too. So when I started buying in 2003, 2004, I figured that all I had to do was get up, roll out of bed, and decide to become a real estate investor.
Yes.
And it's supposed to happen like that.
Yes.
It didn't happen that way.
Yes.
So now, with the ups and the downs and the pitfalls that I suffered through, so you're gonna say what prepared me, bro? Life and God.
Most High.
Because when you decide to become an entrepreneur,
Yes.
or you decide to start investing in real estate, you decide to be what the people like to call today a boss.
Yes.
What they don't tell you is how lonely the road is.
Say that one time.
What they don't tell you when you decide to become an entrepreneur, you decide to become a boss, you decide to be responsible for putting food on the table for people that are going to be working for you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They don't tell you how lonely the road is.
Yes. See, now, hearing them talk, I'm going to be honest with you, as an entrepreneur myself, it is giving me goosebumps. He said it a minute ago. It's giving me goosebumps
It's
now.
going to get better, bro.
Because it's the truth.
It's going to get better, bro.
I'm going to tell you real fast, the reason why I got into real estate, my mother foreclosed on a home. And the house had a adjustable rate. At the time, I was very young. I didn't understand nothing about it. So long story short, me and my brother was actively having fun. My mom, very prideful, as everyone knows, very, very prideful. She didn't want to tell me, like, look, this is what's going on. Right? She figured she would figure it out before it gets to the demise. But anyway, I've never seen my mother, outside of losing someone she loved, cry so bad, because she really worked so hard to get that asset. Right? But she was also sold the American dream, right? And I respect it because she had the heart to at least try the American dream. So that moment actually made me do that.
I love what you said about your mom tried for the American
Yes.
dream, no different than myself, no different than what you're doing, and a
Yes.
lot of the other people are doing.
Yes.
But then what people don't talk about is the pitfalls of this business, the pitfalls of trying, and when other people see you as an opportunity to take advantage of you.
Yes.
Why is it that when I bring this up, people get upset with me?
Because they don't want, they try to glorify it.
Why is it that when I mention these type of things that happen in the industry, people look at me like I got two heads, as if it doesn't go down like that in this business? You're telling me I'm the only person that's been taken advantage of in this business?
No.
You're telling me I'm the only one that had a realtor lie to me?
No.
Falsify documentation? You're telling me I'm the only one that had a mortgage lender present to me information telling me that I can do it, knowing that I couldn't, and had me buy that property anyways? I'm the only one?
No.
Thank you.
I bought a house in Queens that didn't belong to the seller, went through the closing, purchased the property, then had to go through court and get the property again. And this is facts, right? What he's saying right now is honestly, and I love what he's saying, because behind every good always has its uglies, right? Nothing good comes from just straight good. You got to also go through the pitfalls of doing the business. And what he's saying is facts. He's giving me goosebumps because, bro, I've been through a lot in this business. So when you see a person's celebrating their success, they really deserve it, man.
You know, the thing is, I got my bro June over here, right? And he said to me a couple of years ago, and I reuse it all the time. And he says that, especially now with social media, it's great on just showing highlight reels.
Yes.
So all you see is the highlight reels.
Yes.
So what it is that I didn't want to come from that space. I didn't want to do that. I'm a very private person. So even if you go on my social media, you very rarely see anything that I'm doing privately in terms of the vacations I go on, or, you know, maybe a restaurant I'm eating at.
Yes, yes.
But when it comes to the investing in real estate, I expose myself. My transparency is on another level, right?
Yes.
And what it is that I said that if I ever did decide to get into social media, I have to come from a space that's my truth. So if you go and you check out my social media since 2000 and whatever it is, 17, my story's never changed. So when you come and you have a conversation with me, I don't have to think about it, because I'm just sharing with you my story. And I'm sharing with you what I've been through. And I'm sharing with you my ups and my downs and my wins and my losses, right? So what it is that I want people to understand that this road getting to this point is lonely.
Yes, it is.
Family members aren't going to support you in the manner that you was hoping that they would. That's just the truth.
Facts.
Most people want to see you. They want to see you, Quentin, you do it.
Yes.
Let me see how it works out for you first, and then I'll support you.
Agreed.
When you get your head chopped off, like mine was chopped off multiple times in the business, I'm the laughing stock of the friends. I'm the laughing stock of people that know me, because I talk a lot about real estate.
Yes.
If anybody know me and run into me, they know Welby's about to talk to me about real estate, because it's important.
It is.
It changed my life. There's nothing more important than real estate when it comes to when you're talking about lifestyle, comfort for your family. What's more important than making sure that your family, your wife, your kids have a roof over their head? What's more important than that?
I don't think nothing else besides life itself, right?
Thank you.
So he's right.
So my approach about investing in real estate, why is it every morning people catch my videos and they see an aggressive person talking every morning, get punched in the face as many times as I did, and you tell me if you're going to wake up with a smile every day?
Let me blow your mind. I was showing my guys, there's a study that said by 2053, African Americans in America will be worth zero by 2053. We'll have a net worth of a median of zero if we keep behaving financially the same way we've been behaving. Things like that bother me. And the reason why is because I believe in my legacy is beyond my first name. I'm more adamant about my last name because my children carry my last name. So for me, if I don't set them up economically, mentally, right, structure them to be a sound going into this crazy expensive economy that we're dealing with right now, 30 years from now is going to be worse, as we all know. I'm like, yo, why do you think we care so much? Because we know. We know how real estate appreciates. We know how rent goes up. We know all of this. So we're like, yo, we're giving you the game because we understand it from a whole different spectrum, because we are the landlords. So when you're the landlord, you have a different mentality, right? And you understand that I have no choice but to go up on the hike because my taxes just went up.
And I wish people would understand that.
Yes.
I wish people would understand it, and I think that property owners and landlords need to be glorified. I think that they need to be propped up as superheroes.
Yes.
Being where we at is not easy.
Of course not.
You understand that I'm responsible for you, right? You understand that I'm responsible for your family, right? As a property owner, I'm responsible for that.
Yes, you are.
And now when you just mentioned about raising rents.
Yes.
Nobody is saying anything when the tax guy is raising our taxes. Nobody said nothing about the fact that insurance went up 40%.
Yes.
During COVID. Nobody said anything about that.
They don't even know. Say that one more time.
Property insurance went up 40% during COVID. Nobody said anything about the fact that the last person that was helped, if you want to consider it help, during the COVID situation was the property owner.
We had to eat it.
Okay, people were incentivized not to pay their rent.
And who had to eat it?
And we had to eat that.
With mortgages.
Thank you very much.
With mortgages.
Thank you very much.
And they don't feel no empathy for the landlord.
Not at all. That's why I say property owners and landlords should be propped up as heroes. Because here's the thing.
Yes.
It's already been proven. People love to talk crap about the private sector of owning real estate, but without the private sector of owning real estate, the quality of real estate would be down the drain. Because it's already been proven how well government-owned properties do. You telling me that the projects are luxury hotels?
No.
You telling me that the what you call those homeless shelters are ran properly?
Yeah, right.
Right? So now the private sector, which provides homes for even like Section 8, people get mad with me when I talk about with the Section 8 side, and I say that Section 8 and the landlord are partners.
Yes.
We don't work for Section 8.
No.
We don't work for Section 8,
no,
even though some of the people that work over there seems to forget that. Without the private sector, there is no Section 8.
100%.
You understand?
100%.
So
if everybody owned and they didn't rent out, there will be no rentals, no units.
So we need to understand that the shoes that we wear, we have to be psychiatrists, we have to be security guards. Nobody want to talk about that though. But here's the thing. Whenever you hear me speak about real estate, I'm a very big advocate for the investor, the qualified buyer.
Yes.
Because without that, none of the other conversations could ever happen. And this is why I talk to people, especially new people that are entering this business, to understand the fundamentals that is required to survive out here. It's important for you to understand the fundamentals to survive out here. Most of you people are just buying real estate just to buy real estate and are ecstatic to be invited to the party. They're ecstatic that they got invited to the party.
They don't know what's going to go down at that party.
Okay. And they don't realize that the whole joke of the party is on you.
Yep.
Nobody want to talk about that.
But you know, when we had these discussions, right? One thing I love about you is you educate. Yeah. Right? See, the problem is if you don't have a degree or you sit in the front of a classroom, people don't understand the educator is one who teaches, right? So to learn from the teacher, especially experience, you cannot pay for experience. You have to go through experience or learn from someone else's experience. So the fact that he's giving you so much experience of going through the traumas, the trials, the tribulations, the goods, the bads, and the uglies, this is where you learn the business. When you get these influencers who make it seem so easy, I already know they cap. I'm gonna be honest with you. I already know it's a lie, and it's more of a lie. I'll give you a story. I bought a house. Thought I was done. Sealed walls. House beautiful. Turn around. Every damn pipe in the house burst. Every pipe. Did you expect that? But that's a contingency right there, right? The unexpected, not knowing what could happen. See, that's things I tell people about business in itself. You have to prepare for the what could be, what could happen, right? Not just looking at the goods. So if a person's saying the good, that's why I would look at these courses too. It's like, I'm like, you're not saying anything that's a scenario that's very common. What is a common scenario, would you say, in real estate that's very, very common?
People are paying too much money for their property.
Overpaying
for the property, but then and don't even realize it.
Yes.
Just so everybody understand, qualified does not mean affordability. So just because you were qualified, quote unquote, got qualified and say you qualified to buy this property at this price does not mean it's affordable.
No.
It's no different than buying a car. You went over there to BMW dealership, and the BMW dealership told you qualified, gave you the keys for that car, you drove off with that car, only a month later to realize you cannot afford this payment.
Because they didn't go into the depths of your lifestyle.
No.
Right?
What they do is they look at it on a smaller scale, or the micro instead of the macro, to look at the bigger picture.
Yes.
So no different than real estate. You buying yourself a multifamily. People are being told, everybody's being told you must buy yourself a multifamily, which I agree, but not in the way that the majority of the people are doing it.
Let's break it down. Let's go into it.
You sure you want to do that?
We have to.
Because a lot of people are going to get pissed off about this.
Listen, feathers ain't ruffled. I mean, the truth ain't told.
Okay.
Right?
Talk to me.
Listen, I personally believe that what he's saying is a lot of people overly teach you things that don't make sense. And when I listen to him, I'm like, a hypothetical situation is not a reality situation. Hypothetically, this could be the perfect scenario. But in reality, it won't be the perfect scenario. So the problem is they misinform a lot of people and prepare them for the reality situation. So now, therefore, that's like going to take a test.
They don't prepare them for the reality. They don't.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
I apologize. Everything you said is perfect, but if you agree with me,
100%.
they don't prepare them for the reality.
No.
They prepare them for the theoretical representation. Right?
That sound good.
Right? So that's what they prepared for. Because here's the thing. You know how many people buying a property, or they buying themselves a multifamily, or they buying themselves a single family? It's supposed to be an investment property.
Yes.
The goal of an investment property is supposed to be an asset for you.
Of course.
It's supposed to work for you.
Of course.
So you're ecstatic that you bought this property. I met somebody that bought a property in New Jersey for $750,000. First question I asked the person is, how much is the property worth? That person told me it's worth $750,000. I said, you dead in the water.
Maxed you out.
You finished.
Max out.
They're asking me, thank you. They're asking me, how is it that you know that I'm dead? You said it a few seconds ago about the experience. You don't understand being over leveraged. Yes. So this person bought a $750,000.
Make sure y'all heard that word real good.
Over leveraged.
That word is very, 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 very vital in understanding real estate, right? You're dead in the water because there's no equity there, right? You can't leverage it to elevate.
And can I add to that?
Yes.
We're talking to people that are investors.
Yes.
That's who we talking to.
Yes.
So people that get in their feelings when they hear I'm talking or you talking about something, we're not talking to you. We're talking to the investor.
But if you feel away, you feel away.
Cool, but check this out. Pick a side. Pick a side. Either you a retail buyer, which is nothing wrong with that, because you understand what you're walking into, or you an investor. So if you are a investor, investors don't pay retail.
I got a question for you, though.
Do you agree with me or not?
100%.
Investors don't pay retail.
Never have.
So now, on that $750,000 deal that we were talking about, the person also was supposedly netting, after expenses, $1,500 a month. How you like those numbers?
It sounds good if it's true.
$750,000 debt, netting $1,500 a month.
No, that's horrible, bro.
Thank you very much.
That's torture, bro.
You see how you,
my mind, I had a brain fart. That's crazy.
You see how you grasping it already, right?
God.
So then now peep this, what made it even worse.
Yes.
It wasn't based off of the rental units, why he was supposedly netting. It was based off of the illegal parts of the property that was being rented. Illegal? So for people that are renting out illegal basements, I'm not knocking you. It doesn't count though.
It's hypotheticals.
Yes. People that are illegally renting out garage spaces, I'm not knocking you, but it doesn't count.
No.
It doesn't count. No. So we're talking about the core property that you bought.
You know why he's going into this depth and explaining to you, if it's illegal, that means it can be fined, right? And
not only fined, not only just fined,
yes,
you never had a tenant use that as leverage against you.
100%.
You've never had a tenant know the fact that you're renting to them an illegal apartment. They smile in your face. They love you at the beginning, and then they use it as leverage not to pay you any rent.
100% facts.
Okay.
Especially when a person knows, right? Have a rough month. Here it goes. This apartment ain't legal anyway.
Thank you.
Wow. But it was legal enough for you to move in, right?
Thank you very much.
And I hate to say this, in a lot of cases, the people may look just like you that do it to you, right? And I've just got to call it what it is. But what he's saying is 100% facts, right? They're giving you a hypothetical situation, selling you the hypothetical, but you got to look at the reality. If it's not a multifamily, it's not a multifamily. If it's a single family, you got to equate it to being a single family. The reason why a single family and a multifamily aren't the same is because the income is different, what you can literally make off of each property, right? This is more of a single family. To me, should be more of a personal living situation.
But here's the thing. If I could add to that,
Yes.
I agree to a point, but you have to take what the market gives you.
Okay.
You have to know how to adapt to what the market gives you. So in our area, we have an abundance of multifamilies.
Yes.
Right? And then, of course, the single families.
Yes.
But then you also have areas in this country where it's predominantly single family in that area, and we know people that are thriving in that market.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's not, so I don't care if it's single, I don't care if it's multi. You're going to approach it as an investor. There's a certain way you need to acquire it to make sure that it's cash flowing.
Agreed.
And cash flowing is not making $100 per door. Not in this market.
$100 per door.
You're telling me that you're okay making $100 per door in debt, $50,000 or $100,000, and you okay making $100 a month?
One hiccup, you done.
You're finished.
Underwater. One hiccup. You got to save 12 months to get $1,200.
A furnace alone, how much is a furnace to replace a furnace?
Boiler. And, come on, bro.
Okay.
I'm talking about 18 to 20K for a roof.
Thank
bro.
you.
A roof.
So why people ain't talking about that?
Because you know why? They got to make it seem easy.
Okay.
Right? And if I make it seem easy, more people will buy into the fairy tale. It's like the guy that say that the YouTube guy that's sitting there, hey, you sitting over there, who wants to make $60 a day doing nothing? Come on, man.
I love what you just said about doing nothing. So people like to take the word passive in passive income for real estate, meaning that you don't have to do nothing.
It's cap.
It's cap.
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 Cap. Cap. Cap.
Yo,
More cap and more cap.
I could say this as humble as possible. I bring in net income. I bring in tens of thousands of dollars in net income per month. It's nothing passive about it.
No, you got to work.
You got to work for it.
Still got to earn it.
I got to I got to manage my business.
Yes.
But wait, I'm sure that there's people in here that's going to say, what do you mean manage? Why don't you have a property manager?
They're pulling your income.
I have a property manager. But who's going to manage the property manager?
The person that owns the asset.
Thank you very much. So I got to manage my business.
Listen, he's still going to call you, ask you what you want to do.
I got a bunch of calls today.
Listen, I think if a property manager is stepping over you and not asking you those questions, I think you're the property manager then.
Thank
I think he's the owner.
Thank you.
Right? The owner makes the last decision.
Thank you.
So I think that therefore you should be making the decisions.
Thank you.
Do I want to put a new boiler? Or do I want to work on a boiler that's currently
nobody writes my checks for me. Anybody that have property management, no property manager collects my money for me either.
Why would they?
I used to let that happen
Yeah.
because I didn't know any better. No property manager collects my money. Everything goes through me.
Of course.
And I divvy it out.
Of course.
You know? So I need people to understand that aspect of it. There's no such thing as passive income in real estate.
I've never seen a supervisor write the check for the boss. I've never seen that.
Here's the thing, what happened, if I may say. People in this industry got finessed out of their position. The number one most important person in the equation of real estate investing is you.
Yep.
The real estate investor.
Yes.
The qualified buyer.
Yes.
The number one aspect of this entire business is us. People hate when I say it.
But it's a reality.
Nobody can make money without the qualified buyer.
Of course.
Just tell me, if anybody's telling me I'm wrong, please correct me, because I don't think I know everything.
What is the show without the artist? What is the show without the artist?
Nobody can make money without the qualified buyer. So that's just why I say all the time, I'm with empowering our people.
Of course.
You don't understand how powerful you are.
Appreciate it.
And when you understand how powerful you are, the rest of these people in here have to follow suit.
Because you know what it is? A lot of times we've been trained to dim our light. Right?
Oh, I don't do that no more.
Me either.
I don't do that. I don't dim my light for nobody.
Listen, I had a guy get mad at me the other day because I knew something for a fact. A fact is something that can be proven, right?
Yes.
If we can prove it, it makes it a fact, right? Long story short, proved it to the person. Person still want to argue. And I'm like, I think going into this investment world, you can't be insecure. You got to be able to take advice. The teacher still learns.
Every day.
We still learn. So a guy's humbly understanding that what he's saying, if it's affecting you or making you feel insecure, then this world ain't for you. You're trying to get in a tank with big sharks and you expect them to have empathy with you, right? It's not reality, right? Anytime you try to go into the investment world, you have to have thick skin too, right? Because like he said, someone could trick you out your position. And I know a landlord, one of my homeboys, who ended up beating up one of his tenants and actually lost his asset behind beating up his tenant.
I could see that.
Right? And I looked at him like, are you crazy?
I could see that.
Lost his whole house.
I could see that.
Right? And going through court still to this day, criminally. Right? And I'm like, damn, you got tricked out of your spot. And the guy that was there was an invitee. He was invited by the tenant that was initially on the lease, right? On the lease. He established residence by getting mail to the house. Mind, he wasn't on the lease initially, right? Established residence, got into a fight with the landlord and literally suing this guy because he insulted this man in his property, right? This is the world we live in, right? The laws ain't that fair.
It isn't.
It ain't that fair. It's sad, but you know, we live in New York, and New York is very, very hard on landlords.
It is.
You know, because they give some, let's talk about this squatter thing, bro. One of the worst things about, look, one of my guys here right now, June is here, he could tell you what I go through having conversations about the squatter thing. A squatter is an illegal resident. Let's call it what it is. They have rights, yes, but it's an illegal residence. It's not legal, right? That's why they're a squatter. If you're the homeowner, you don't say yes to me, how am I there? Am I legal?
No.
So that means I'm basically alien to the situation.
That's right.
So you ever had to deal with squatters?
I've never had to deal with, well, in maybe my flips, I've had to I've had them, but you know, you do what you gotta do to get them out.
Yes.
But then once again, it goes back to what you talk about when you say experience. There's the stuff that we talk about, you're not gonna pick this up in a book.
No.
The stuff that you talk about, you're not gonna pick up watching a quick YouTube video. That's not gonna happen like that.
Very generic.
The level of my experiences that I've gone through, I had to physically go through it.
Yes.
I had to go through it. I got wiped out in this business 3 times, bro.
Wow.
To zero.
Wow.
To zero. So when I speak on these things, I'm speaking on it because you don't have to go through the same thing I went through. You know, nobody's pulling up to their property in a Lamborghini. Nobody's pulling up to their properties in a Rolls Royce.
No.
And guess what? We got all those nice cars too. You know what I'm saying? So the business got wiped me out 3 times. And when it wiped me out, I second guessed myself. I was a dummy. I had low self-esteem. I talk about being suicidal. I was embarrassed. I went through all of those things. I'm like, wait a minute, all these other people are getting to it supposedly. Why the hell I can't figure this thing out? You know what my number one thing was?
I'm listening.
I wasn't betting on me. Those 3 times I talk about being wiped out, I'm talking about losing millions of dollars, thinking that I'm up, thinking that I'm winning.
Yes.
And it took a little push from a bad situation to wipe me out. And not only that, I was banking on what other people were sharing with me, what other people was telling me was supposed to be facts.
Yes.
I was never running my business. You understand? So when I finally decided the last time, and when I say the last time, we take losses all the time.
All the time.
But we'll talk about that in a second.
Yes.
The last go round, I said, you know what, man? I got wiped out. And when I really look at it, the root cause of me being wiped out was that I would never bet on me. I would bet on that person or that group of people.
Agreed.
And every time it was time for me to bet on me and take a chance on me, I found every excuse not to do it.
My question is, you know my story?
I know, but I'd like to hear it again.
It sounds like the same thing you just said.
We were saying that yesterday when we was talking, and I was like, yo, you sound just like me.
Everything he just said, every time I lost is when I let somebody else roll my dice. I let someone roll my dice. See, I'm gonna tell you something. It's the story of the eagle and the crow. When an eagle don't know that they're not a crow, they behave like a crow. See, there are certain guys that's supposed to fly to high altitudes, and certain women, they're made to do that. But sometimes you fly at a lower altitude because of the fear. Right? It looks foreign when they see everybody at that same altitude. It's like, if I go a little above, I'm gonna take on more responsibility. And that was me. The same thing you're saying, identical, was me. I was so scared to take any risk alone. Right? But then God made me do it.
Yeah.
He made me do it. And he like pushed me out and said, you better fly.
Yeah.
And I asked, oh my God, I'm flying, right? And still was wondering how I'm flying, but not realizing that I'm an eagle. I'm supposed to fly, right? And what risk did you take that made you realize, like, yo, I'm here. I'm supposed to do this.
I just to fast forward my long story. I'm in the game 21 years. My 13 years of it was horrendous.
21 years, man. Give me
all right.
Tenure, guys.
I appreciate that. And of the 13 years is where I got wiped out the 3 times.
Yes.
So the last time I got wiped out, I lost tens of thousands of dollars, and I was left with $60,000.
Wow.
So with that $90,000. But I was negative tens of thousands of dollars, right?
What that feel like?
So for people that are gonna ask, where did he come up with this money? I went to work. So young people, stop letting these people make you believe that having a job means that you're a failure. You need to create income to invest in your business. So that's what I did. I went back to work and I took the money and I invested my money. I took the retirement money that I had, my 401k,
Yes.
and I said, I'm gonna bet on me. I cashed it out.
Wow.
That's what I did. So when I cashed it out, people were telling me I'm crazy. But what happened? The last go round, I got wiped out again and I lost, and I was left with a $90,000 check. When I got that $90,000 check, I went back home. I was doing business in Atlanta. I came back home, and I always talk about the story about my father. My father love him, but he's a nosy Haitian person. And when I went downstairs to go say hi to him and my parents, they were watching their son for 13 years getting punched in the face. For 13 years.
Yeah.
So my father says to me, first thing, Bibi, sakafekala.
What are you doing?
What's up with that house? In Creole.
Oh, like I went? Yeah.
Like I said, I said, I lost. My father hurt, pissed. And he's like, yo, Welby, you done, right? Bibi, ou fin avec ça?
Done.
Ou fin avec ça? You're done, right? And I said, nah, Dad, I got it. I know what to do.
You learn.
And now when we talk about betting on on yourself, that's when I said, if anybody's going to take this last 90 and lose it, it's going to be me. I took that 90,000 and I bet on me, and I built up my portfolio. I don't like to say empire. Humbly speaking,
yes,
I'm blessed. And I took that 90,000 to turn it into a
portfolio,
a beautiful portfolio, an 8-figure portfolio.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's the realities of the business. When you got to risk, you got to take there's no risk without no reward, right? If you don't risk anything, my first flip, I lost about $50,000. It was like 47 and change, right? 86 cents.
You remember that, man. Yeah. You remember it, man.
You know, my loss on it was because of very arrogance to the business. I was very arrogant.
So I meet myself too. I can admit that.
I'm more of a new investor. I'm not 21 years. Yeah. I'm like 6 years, 7 years. But for me, it was like more like listening to Property Brothers, flipping housing. Damn, I can go do anything I want. I put a lipstick on a pig and said it was pretty. Yeah. Right? I overly put too much money into the property.
You didn't know any better. Right. That's right.
No, and it would not comp, it would not sell, and I couldn't get an investor to take it for higher than what I needed. And I ended up losing almost 50 bands. And I smiled. And it's funny because the story, I went to my boys, and they was like, yo, you know, it ain't for you. You know what I'm saying?
Telling you, same thing
it's not
here.
For me. He's like, nah. But then we had a conversation earlier about day 2. The guy I went to talk about it was my day 1. And sometimes day 1s only see you to a certain magnitude. But then I went to another guy that I built a bond with who knows my urgency to succeed. I'm a warrior. I don't know what submission means. You're gonna have to kill me, right? Life gonna have to kill me before I quit. And when I sat with my day 2 homeboy, he looked at me and smiled. And he said, I said, what? He said, you coming back with a vengeance.
Let's go.
I said, yes, I am.
Let's go.
I said, let's get it back in there. Let's get it again.
Let's go.
You know, because again, you don't know if you can fight if you ain't never been punched in the face, right? And it punched me good. And it made me smile. Going back now, I should have dotted my I's and crossed my T's, but the problem is I invested in an investor who didn't have nowhere near to the magnitude of skin in the game like me.
And how would you know to dot your I's and cross your T's if you don't know?
Yes.
If you don't know the right questions
Yes.
to ask.
Yes.
And that's what's happening is that people are not, they're not leading with the right questions.
Logic.
Because the beautiful thing about real estate, it's all about the numbers. And when you understand real estate is about the numbers, you learn to start eliminating your emotions in the process. And it's either it makes sense and it's a deal or it's not. Irregardless if it's a wholesale deal,
Yes.
if it's a flip,
Yes.
if it's a buy and hold, it really doesn't matter.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter. So when you have people creating buzzwords or creative terms and things of that nature,
yes.
I don't know none of that shit.
Me either.
I don't know none of that shit.
Me either.
These are where I need to be. These are the numbers. Does the deal make sense based off of what my end goals are with this property? If it does, I'm buying it. If
Yes.
it doesn't, I'm walking away.
You know, a famous question a lot of people ask me, and I want them to hear it today. They always ask me, in this climate right now, is it a good time to buy real estate?
Ooh.
I already know what you're about to say.
It's always a good time to buy real estate. It's always a good time to buy real estate.
It is.
Because the thing is that it's all, okay, I know people have heard it before, but I'm going to say it. You make your money on the buy.
Of course.
You make your money on the buy. So a lot of you people, I'm telling y'all, the pain is coming. A lot of you people bragging about your 2%, 3% interest rates. People hate when I bring up about the interest rates. People hate that I bring up about the interest rates. A lot of you guys are going to feel the pain.
You know, one of the main reasons is, I told a guy the other day, he got a 2.75. So he's telling me about the 2.75. I said, the chances of you seeing that number again is slim to none. So he goes, I said, you know what a house is, right? He goes, what is it? I said, a house is a bank. So I said, if I have an 8% interest, and now the rate comes down to 5, I can leverage myself to borrow against that, from that 8 to that 5. So I can use more money from that asset to make me more money. I said, the problem is, you're stuck at that 275. That number looked too good for you.
Let's talk about it, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about it, because here's the thing. How about for the people that have done that are bragging about your 2%, 3% interest rate, what you did do is you overpaid for that property. There is no equity in that property to tap into it. So who cares about your 2% interest rate, 3% interest rate? So let's go a little bit deeper than that. What people are going to then now tell you is that, well, it doesn't matter. You could just tap in with a home equity line of credit. What a home equity line of credit is, they're basing it off what the home equity line of credit would have been with the 2% or the 3% interest rate.
100%.
The interest rates today are in the 7s and the 8s. When you get a home equity line of credit, it's usually whatever the rates are plus prime, 1. So that means now the home equity line of credit that you're going to attempt to get, you can't even afford it. Because the 8% interest rate, because a home equity line of credit is an adjustable rate.
Say it again.
I know they're going to say there's some that aren't. I haven't seen one yet. But we're not talking about your anecdotal situation. We're talking about in general.
Yes.
A home equity line of credit is an adjustable rate.
Yes, it is.
So now you barely able to afford the property with your 2% interest rate, and we're talking about the principal and interest payment. Now you're talking about using a home equity line of credit, which most of y'all can't get because you need to. They're only going to lend you up to, let's say, 80 to 90% in some cases of the value of the property. But where's the home equity line of credit going to come from when you already maxed out the property with the purchase that you got?
Logic.
Why you guys aren't being told that?
I just closed a property for over 7. So my boy was like, you're crazy. And I told him, I said, the house got over 600,000 in equity in that thing.
Can I talk some shit too? Go ahead. Finish. No, go ahead. Finish
that.
They
got over 600,000 in equity. I said, you tell me what scenario is bad about that? And not only that, I'm getting income off of it. I said,
if I may, how much you netting a month?
Over 3 and change.
3,000 plus a month, and you got 600,000 in equity. How long did you have to wait for this equity?
The first day I closed it.
How did I know he was gonna say that?
Because you flip, you play real estate.
How do I know? So most people that are buying properties, they're buying the property waiting for the appreciation.
Yes, they are.
We're not buying real estate to wait for appreciation. We're forcing the appreciation.
Yes, we are.
So, can I talk a little bit too?
Talk it.
Yo, so I just got me a property not too long ago. So for people on the internet that likes to throw shots at me talking about that I bought that property maybe 5 years ago, I'm talking about 6, 7 months ago. I bought a 4-family property. The property is worth, in today's market now, it keeps pushing at least $500,000. At least $500,000. I bought it for $165,000.
And what are you totally in it right now for?
$206,000.
I don't understand.
Fully, wait.
We playing chess.
It gets better.
We playing chess.
And fully renovated too, everybody. I fully renovated it, so I'm all into the property. I should say, let me clean it up even better. I'm all into it. Technically, $230,000. I financed $206,000. So the bank. The bank gave me back all of the money that it cost me to initially acquire it, but there was still another $25,000 plus on the table, roughly, right?
Yes.
I got it all back at the table when I got the place rented. Oh, by the way, that same property that got over $250,000 plus in equity right now,
yes,
it net cash flows me after expenses over $4,500 a month. Net cash flows me.
Now you're speaking a different lingo.
Whoa, I could make it even better.
Yeah.
I have zero of my money. People talk about infinite return. You guys have heard of the term infinite return? I've done it over and over and over again. I don't have a penny of my money in this property right now. I recouped all my money back. I recouped what it cost me to rehab that property. I paid everybody back. I have none of my money in the property. It's got over $250,000 in equity in it, and it puts $4,500 per month in my pocket.
Wow.
Oh, and the interest rate is 7.75%.
We play what it is. Whatever the market is, it is what it is.
What do I care about the interest rate?
Look, June, we said we don't worry about who's on the court. We came to play.
Listen,
right?
Listen, for the people that people that have been throwing shots, talking about that he's crazy, interest rates matter.
They don't know.
Listen, man, if you're not playing the game, stop talking about it.
They play small, right?
You're not, because the thing is, you're hearing the people getting advice. There's an accountant. I don't forgot his name. And he put up a post, and basically he was trying to punch holes in what I was saying.
Yeah.
And he was telling the people, if you listen to what he's saying, it will sink your ship. I'm not talking to that type of purchaser. I'm not talking to them. For the average person.
It's levels.
Yes.
It's levels.
Yes. The average person shouldn't be doing deals like this.
Of course they shouldn't.
But that's not who I'm talking to.
Yes.
So that's why I say pick a side. You an investor or you a retail buyer? If you're an investor, the approach is totally different.
Completely different. Completely different. You want to hear something crazy? On that house that I said I got over 600 in equity,
Yes.
I literally made them give me all my closing in my loan.
See what I'm saying?
I ain't putting nothing out.
So you have none
So
of
my closing, everything.
So you have none of your money in the deal. You got the bank's money.
Yes.
You got $600,000 in equity,
Yes.
and then you put $3,000 a month in your pocket.
Yes. You know what that is? That is a retirement plan for my children.
Let's go.
When I'm going, that's for them.
Let's go.
Right? When you learn real estate, right, is a healthy way of creating generational wealth, right?
Oh, we gonna use that word generation, because I got a video going viral right now, and I'm getting shots at people because I mentioned the buzzword generational wealth. The buzzword, what it turned into, generational wealth turned into a buzzword.
Yes. You know, to me, all I hear when I hear generational wealth, it's only putting money to be employed. That's only gonna appreciate over time. That's what I hear. I hear the term like, okay, if I buy a painting and it's gonna appreciate over time, that means it's gonna be worth more for my children.
Absolutely.
So that's when I see wealth. That's how I see it.
Okay.
Right? It could be all kind of different terms and how people use it. Right? Most people don't understand. Almost 80 to 90% of millionaires come through real estate.
Thank you.
They come through real estate.
But do you agree with me or disagree with me about the generational wealth is very important, everybody?
It is.
Everybody should strive for that. Let's make that clear. I just want to put that out there on your platform. Okay. Generational wealth is extremely important. But do you agree with me or disagree with me that it turned into a buzzword marketing strategy?
100% facts.
Thank you very much.
100% facts. That's like saying gaslighting. That's like saying narcissist. That's like saying all these terms are being misused.
And then the word is being used to make people feel guilty, and then tell you after it's all said and done, meet me in the back so I could charge you $30,000 for me to put you onto some game.
Now you telling the truth. Somebody gonna get mad.
Okay?
Somebody gonna get mad.
So why is it that, so what bugs me out is that people, it's so crazy to me how people seem to forget what's happened.
Yes.
it's so quickly people seem to forget the finesse that's what's going on and it's still going on.
Of course. I don't want to take no shots, but I'm going to say the story. There was a shorty. She does a trucking business. Says she has over $100 million in trucks. And then they broke her down. She had nothing to show for all of these things she's saying she has. One thing I will admit, guys, and I'm going to be fair. If you have a corporation, you got to file taxes on a corp. One thing about real estate investors, we have a lot of shell corporations, meaning an asset may be held by this corp. That's all that's there. So there's no real way sometimes to summarize some of these guys' wealth. And I will admit it. But for a company that says that you guys have all of these trucks, it has to be shown.
Real estate does too, though.
Yes. No.
And I agree with what you were saying as far as with the real estate. There are ways to minimize showing your worth or your net worth and showing the ownerships of properties.
Agreed.
But success has a paper trail.
Always.
Success has a road behind you, as my guy Dan loves to say. So it's very difficult for me to accept that in today's day and age, it's not difficult for you to do a little bit of homework.
Agreed.
Just a little bit of homework.
Agreed.
We're not here to throw shots at nobody. I have no shots to throw at nobody. I wish everybody nothing but the best. But let me tell you something. Once you understand the fundamentals of certain things, it would not happen to you.
I mean, honest with you, I do wish the best. I wish the best for the people that's capping and got these guys messing up their lives. Because like you know how to recover. Especially being in the business so long.
But here's the thing, because I apologize to keep tapping you, because I want to just jump on what you're saying when you say recover. The reason why this brother Quentin is saying recover is because anybody that owns a business, that's investing, takes losses during the course of the year.
100%.
Everybody does.
Yo, bro, I own 3 storefronts. I own a barbershop, I own a nightclub, and I own a pharmacy. When I came out, in my real estate office, guys. When I came out of COVID, I owed rents all over the place, right? And all my landlords were satisfied within the first month of being out from COVID, right? Because I live like I'm down, so when things are good, I preserve money like it's bad.
Let's go.
So then when things are good, it's good. But I still live the same.
Absolutely.
Right? My lifestyle is very, very sane.
Absolutely.
It makes sense.
Absolutely.
Whether up or down.
But let me ask you an important question, though.
Yes.
Did the monies that you have, that you saved, that you utilized to get you from, was that from your business or was that from something that you morphed into that's promoted and just selling a course to do so?
100% working. So
that's not saying that you don't do a course and don't sell, because I have courses. That's not what I'm saying. But you made your money where?
Working. You know, anybody that I meet a guy or a woman that tell me they made hundreds of millions of dollars or thousands and thousands of dollars and there's no work behind them, I don't know about that, bro. Unless they got a very good inheritance and their family put them in great positions, then that's different. We're talking about guys like us, you know, who got it out the mud, right? To get from to certain spaces in life financially, yo, bro, it's a great sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice, man.
My guy Jewel, I sacrificed 10 years of not taking no trips, no vacations, and just saving and staying behind my barber chair for 7.5 years straight. But I did 10 years straight doing that. But I worked 7.5, almost 8 years straight, 7 days a week. 7 days a week, right? And I committed myself because I knew it took money to make money. And the logic, it says, I can't risk what I don't have, right? So if I look at a life like, okay, I'll sacrifice these 10 years, but after the 10 years, I'll be able to live the lifestyle that I'll see myself in my head, right? We have these visions, but I'm like, if you don't pull it out your head by doing the actions, because a lot of people that don't have things is potential not meeting the action. So the potential is there, but the action is not meeting the potential. So therefore, they're not getting to levels. I'm like, your potential got to catch up to your action.
Let's go.
Your mouth sounds good, right? But also, I believe that it's the work that's more valid. If you have bad saving habits with a little bit of money, imagine if you have big money. You're gonna be disgusting, bro.
And that's what I've found with a lot of people that they found limited success, if at all. It's because the level of work ethic wasn't even there.
Never.
And then they don't believe when I say that I'm putting in 20 offers a week and being denied every one of them, and I keep going. So I want to say something. This is something that people need to hear.
Yes.
In real estate, It's a fight to get these opportunities, these deals.
100% facts.
So if you have a person that has supposedly an abundance of opportunities for you to acquire through them, you better run the other way. You better run the other way, because let me tell you, why would I bust my tail to go and get this deal to give it to you? Just to give it to you.
Because it's cap.
And not only give it to you and then tell you, I'll take care of all the hard work because I want to see you thrive. It don't work like that.
No.
Can I talk a little shit?
Talk.
I just got me a house in Queens.
Okay.
Queens, New York. The house is worth over $900,000. I got it for $460,000.
That's not the one that had a slave? Not near where I'm at, over Merrick? By Merrick?
No. This is in Queens Village.
Okay.
It's worth, everybody pay attention. It's all about the numbers. Who cares about the interest rate? It's worth over $900,000. I got it for $460,000.
I believe it.
Right? And because of I'm at 50 cents on the dollar, I could either just quickly flip it and sell it for $675 and make a quick $200,000, or I could put the work into it with the team that I got and sell it for the $875, $900,000, and put $300,000 in my pocket, right?
So when you say, I know where you're going with it.
Yes.
But I want to just make sure I bring it down for their level.
Let's go.
When you say 400 that you purchase it at.
460,000.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you say worth 900, you're saying ARV, right?
Correct.
ARV guys mean after repair value.
Yes.
Right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
He's basically saying if I maximize it, force the equity.
And don't believe anything I tell you.
No, he's telling the truth.
Don't believe. I'll show you the contract right now.
Not believe you.
Don't believe a word I tell you.
Listen, I already do he wouldn't be here if I didn't co-sign it. One of my brothers is one of his brothers, right? And we've done our research on each other. We know my guy's legit. And guys, you know I don't do that. I don't co-sign people because I don't want to put my name attached to somebody that I wouldn't do business with. And I'm just being honest. And I'm very selective with who I bring up here. This guy's the real deal. He's really doing his thing. But watch this. When we said earlier, force the equity, he purchased it for $460. He's basically saying, okay, I put $100,000, $150,000 in. That still push me to about $550,000, $600,000. So if I'm all in at $600,000, my ARV after repair value is still 8 and change.
That's right.
Sound like $250,000.
So while you're waiting for it, I'm making it.
Forcing the equity.
Forcing the equity. But now, why would I give that to somebody?
It don't make sense.
It makes no sense.
No.
So everybody, I gotta say this, please. There's no such thing as a cheap house in America.
No.
There is no such thing as a cheap house in America.
It's based on the economy and the markets.
Thank you very much. Why is it that it's so difficult for people to wrap their heads around that when you say it?
Because they don't want to look at reality. Like a person could be broke in New York and be a cash cow in Ohio.
Thank you, brother.
Right? Be a cash cow. I tell people, know your market.
Thank you.
Know your market. Stop chasing the market, because there's some people that say, you know what? This market ain't for me. My guy over here owns Connecticut right now.
I have a lot of properties, man. I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm blessed, man.
I'm a guy that come from where you come from.
Thank you,
to where you are today.
Thank you,
my
brother.
guy's shaking.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I dwell back when I look back, or sometimes I was talking to my twin brother and I was showing him the numbers of what I pull in every month.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you keep, and I know you could relate to this. Sometimes you could put your head down working so hard, you don't get a chance to smell your roses to realize what you've been able to accomplish.
What?
Right?
What?
We keep talking about June. June, where you at, June? Let me hear you, June.
June, come through, June.
You come here, June, real quick, please. This is, I call June, I call June my consigliere, right? That's my consigliere. Anytime there's things that has to go down or something like that, I always tap with June.
What up? What's going on, y'all? How you doing?
I apologize. I tap him in real quick, but I call June my consigliere, right? And I always tap in with him and ask him.
You said that too,
right? And June been with me, took many rides with me to come and see. Yo, June got to come back and see what else we got going on out there. You got to really come back and see what I got going on out there. But I sat down and I had to do the numbers. And everybody, I do net. I don't do gross. I do net. Because it's all about what you're putting in your pocket.
100%.
So when you got these people talking about making $50,000 a month, most of them are talking gross. And most of the time, if they're making $5,000 out of that, they'll be lucky. I'm doing that plus more in my pocket net, right? So when I sat down and I'm doing the numbers and I have my head down, I didn't even realize I was hitting those numbers already.
See?
I didn't even realize I was at those numbers already. And then on top of that, when you look at the overall portfolio,
yes,
to what I owe to the bank,
Yes.
to what the value is,
Yes.
I just stayed focused on the game plan. The goal is to acquire property correctly. There's multitude ways of doing it. Acquire a property correctly. How can I add the value to that property? Mm-hmm. I don't do burst strategy, everybody. I don't do that. I'm not knocking people that do. That's their strategy. It works for them. I don't do it. I let the property work for me. I let the property recoup the money it cost me to do whatever it is it took for me to do it. When I show people my numbers, and I was talking to you about one of my multifamilies, bro.
Facts.
I just talked to you about the one just now. I could show you another one, bro. I'm clearing over $5,500 a month. Net income, bro.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And when people are thinking, oh, you must be in debt $1 million on that. No, I'm in debt for that property. I don't even think I'm at 90,000 now.
But what is debt?
Well, debt.
And there's no success without debt.
Yeah. But I used to be afraid of debt because I didn't know the difference between good debt, bad debt. I didn't know the difference.
Agreed.
I just was excited that I was able to get to the closing table. I was excited, just like the people that are ringing bells.
You don't even go to war?
I haven't been to the closing table in years.
It's boring now.
I remember those.
It's boring.
Yo, my attorney sends me everything. I wire the money. I close.
I'll be honest with you. You know the last time I got hyped about a closing?
Yeah.
Is when I watched my man take his son.
Good for you.
That was the last time I got hyped about a closing.
Because you know why? You seen the success that you've helped with encouragement, with education, and now you want to see. And that's where I'm at, though.
Yeah.
I want to see. When I tell you, yo, I got a thing. I want to see our people get to it.
Yes.
When I say, look, everybody, I'm looking for soldiers, y'all. This game is a fight. This game is a war. Anybody's telling you anything different?
What's the war called? To chase the wealth. That's the war. To chase the wealth.
Get your back off the wall. That's what it is. Get your back off the wall.
It's fear, though.
There is.
It's fear.
Absolutely.
It's fear.
Absolutely.
You know, most people don't know what is to come, so they fear what could be before it is. I think people create scenarios in their mind before they even happen. Like I'll talk to somebody like, yo, they already got their end result before they even take a chance. But do you think that's been over time? Do you think that's conditioning? Do you think that's programming? Do you think, like, what is it?
I think that what you don't know, the fear of the unknown is real.
Yes.
What do you think?
I need a mic.
I think a lot of times we suffer from one and done. Can you hear me?
It's the case.
Yeah. I think a lot of times we suffer from
I know you got a message.
One and done syndrome, like where we feel like this one opportunity is the only opportunity that we can have, and we gotta bang everybody out the way just for us to get this one opportunity.
Yes.
We gotta keep all our money to ourselves so that if we lose this one opportunity, we won't have any more. So it's all in scarcity.
Yes.
So it kind of affects the way we move.
Yes.
I gotta commend him for the way he moves because he's lost, and it's also attributed to the fact that he's lost so many different times. He no longer carries that scarcity, attitude. He's like, listen, I lost it. I'm confident in myself. I can make it back again. I lost it again. I'm confident in myself. I can make it back again. And a lot of times, as far as in our community, Black, brown community, we look at every opportunity as the very last one.
Agreed.
So we kind of got to get out of that.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
To even be successful.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it.
Would you say that plays a part from the financial literacy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What do you mean with that?
Financial literacy meaning a lot of people are very illiterate
Yes.
when it comes to finances.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not taught that money's supposed to be working. They're not taught that you're supposed to be investing. They're taught that you're supposed to work, die, right? And basically procreate and create the cycle again,
Yes.
right? Would you agree with that statement?
That's what people believe. Yes, absolutely.
It's crazy.
And also it's a situation where we're not built on testimonials. You know what I'm saying? We don't like if you listen to his story, he goes back to a story where he saw his uncle getting money in Long Island.
Yes.
So that his uncle was his testimonial. A lot of times as Black people, we don't have that. We don't have a rich uncle who's getting money in Long Island. When I was a kid, I had my uncle who was He had a big house in Mount Vernon.
Yes.
I lived in Jamaica, Queens. I
Yes.
lived in a building. It's 5 of us in an apartment.
Yes.
So when I went there, I thought he was rich. I thought he was Richie Rich.
Yes.
I thought he was a big tycoon.
Yes.
Hence why my name is Jew Tycoon.
Yeah.
Right. So I always modeled myself after what they had because I had that one testimonial. In the Black community, there's not a lot of testimonials. Think about it. Our testimonials are the drug dealer
Agreed.
who get money in the hood,
Yes.
and maybe one ball player that might have came out of your neighborhood who went to a college or a JUCO. Other than that, that's what you chase. You chase drug money. You chase basketball dreams. You don't chase the dude that owns 5 properties in Schenectady.
Because it takes too long.
It takes too long. And you don't see it.
That's right.
And nobody glorifies
That's
that.
right.
Not until now. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that contribute to financial literacy or the desire for people to even want to have financial literacy.
Well, it's something funny. If every day I walk past you on Welby, y'all jump me the first time, and y'all jump me a second time. By the third time, I'm like, I ain't scared of them no more. I already know what it is. Y'all gonna keep jumping me because I gotta walk past here every day. Yeah. I think that's the mentality of becoming a investor. You be like, I done seen the worst of the worst.
Right.
Like, what can happen? Right? I played in the streets. I always tell people playing in the streets, that can cost you your life. Playing in this business, it can cost me my credit. I'm like, literally, I can get that back. I can build back, right? The one thing I value the most is time. I think a lot of us don't understand that money is equated to time, right? So understanding that if I have 100,000 this year, I set it up where it's in a position to make me 10%. I'm making 110 next year. Now building onto that, putting another 100,000 into that pot. See, that's that working capital.
Right.
I think a lot of us don't talk about the working capital, knowing that the working capital is what keep us actually building the wealth that we talk about, right? It's working capital. See, when you look at it as he's able to take money, borrow it, no matter how you look at it, we have to borrow money to make us wealthy, right? So if I'm able to borrow money, but using that money that's borrowed to make me more money, I don't give a care in the world about borrowing money.
Nobody at all.
As long as it's making me more money.
And we call that servicing the debt. That's what we call it, servicing the debt. And,
Yes.
and this is why I tell people all the time that if you're not careful, you're going to get stuck. And when I say this to people, they don't understand that, and they once again are just ecstatic to get to the closing table.
Yes.
So now that they get to the closing table, I'm like, okay, cool, bravo to you. You just got yourself this multifamily property.
Yes.
What's the game plan to get to the second one? Because your goal with the first one, which is what everybody likes to tell you, FHA, veterans loan, or other type of loans. People hate when I say it. I don't encourage any of that. When you encourage that FHA, I'm not saying don't use it, but when you, in our community especially, it blocks your thought pattern in your brain and saying to just use an FHA and just go 3.5%.
What are you talking? Conventional? More conventional?
More conventional, 20% down.
Yes.
Things of that nature. People are gonna say, how am I gonna come up with that? I don't got that kind of money. When you look back, when you talked about sacrifice, you talked about sacrifice.
Yes.
You ran through that money multiple times.
Plenty of people.
Plenty of times.
But I think America, we have to establish that most people that are considered broke here aren't broke, right? Because broke in America, under poverty is under $23,000 a year, right? And the average person is making in New York State. You're just going to use our state. It's about $50,000.
Individual.
Yeah, individually.
Yeah.
So therefore, most people are doubling poverty, but it's the way they live. See, it's not glorified to live in your means. If I go out with you and I could only afford a hamburger and you got filet mignon, I'm going to eat my hamburger happily.
I'm going to give you a cut of my hamburger. My filet mignon.
I know you would.
Okay.
You're looking at it a little too much. That filet mignon look fire. But reality is playing the game or staying in my role until I could actually afford the role.
Absolutely.
Right? Not playing Halloween and posing as if I'm already there and then never getting there because I kept spending my money trying to look like I was already there.
Absolutely.
And that's what I think our culture is at a very standstill at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
You know, and let me bring this to June real fast. June, you outside a lot. You what you do for a living, you're outside a lot. Mm-hmm. So my question is, how do you see it going, where the world's going, right? Because we see a lot of Halloween, bro. Mm-hmm. Halloween, bro. To the point where even fake jewelry look real, right? And how do you do it bother you as a conscious man? Because we talk a lot, right? As a conscious man, do you see like do it bother you when you see this?
It bothers me because it's misleading. It's misleading to the public, and I feel like when you portray this to people, it it takes away from honor, it takes away from integrity, it takes away from the things that we were raised on. We were raised on, if you say something once, you got to say it again.
You gotta say it again.
If you say you have this, then you better have it.
Yes.
Now it doesn't really matter if you have it or not. It matters if you got 1,000 likes on what you said
Agreed.
you had.
Agreed.
It matters if you got 100,000 likes on what you said you
Agreed.
had.
Agreed.
It's not the same way. So for our children, you and I have children.
Yes.
I look at how they're gonna view things moving forward. When they meet a man, when they meet somebody, when they read something, or they're gonna take it as fact, or they're gonna be able to do their due diligence.
Wow.
So I kind of look at it in that sense, where it's like, as long as I got 2 million followers, if I say it, you take it as fact.
Yes.
I don't want to teach that.
Yes.
I don't want my kids to learn that. I want to make sure that they know that you got to always do your due diligence.
Yes.
And I feel like with the narrative and social media, it's leading people down a rabbit hole of
insecurities.
I because he said it is true.
Yes.
Because he got 30,000 likes on it, it's true.
Yes.
Which is scary to me.
Yes.
So I don't know where it's gonna go in the future, but it's very scary to me.
My only fear about social media, I'm being honest with you, is the fact that it takes away from the guy that actually worked hard.
Facts.
It tells you, or a younger, or a person that's very easy to manipulate, and I can do half the work but get faster results. By having a mentor like a Welby, by having a mentor like June or a G, right, or a Q, yes, it can alleviate you from hitting potholes. But there are bumps in the road that we can't avoid. That's business, that's life. That's
But you're gonna be able to accelerate quicker than it took me.
Yes.
It took you. Because
Yes.
my mentees, bro, when I tell you, they get into it so much faster
Of course.
in such a shorter period of time than what it took me to do, because I never had a big homie. I never had a mentor.
Right.
I never had somebody to give me that path. I had to keep bumping my head trying to figure this thing out.
But you know why your mentees got that though, right? Because when you went out, you had to answer questions
Yes.
with a questionnaire was multiple choice,
Yeah.
right? They have the big homie to call
Yeah.
who got the right answer.
Yeah.
So that's the value of having a mentor. So I can call you and be like, yo, initially it's multiple choice. Because think about it, I'm sitting there creating 4, 5, 6 scenarios.
Yeah.
And I call you, like,
Nah.
it's C.
Yeah.
It's C all the way.
Let's go.
And I can live and die by C because I know you've experienced
And
this moment.
I can explain it to you in detail why.
Yes.
And this is the reason why. And that's why I always tell mentees of mine or whatever, my goal is for you to be independent of me.
100%.
I don't want you to be dependent on me. I'm the one that's only going to be able to feed you. I want you to be able to do this yourself. When you start to see the light bulb hit them, and they're like, yo, I never saw it like that.
Yes.
But what really blows my mind is that when I do give examples of properties that I own
Yes.
currently, monies I generate, how many people will say that's impossible?
Of course. Because
You can't make, he's not making that kind of money.
don't you call that that's the word projecting?
I
What I
could-
feel I can't do, I'm a project that you
I
can't
could say
do.
that. Yeah,
And I think a lot of people like that.
I could think. I
Yeah.
think that too, and it kind of comical to me at times because I'm doing it. I'm seeing it myself.
And to an extent, it's a defense mechanism, right?
Agreed.
Because if you look at it, if I'm doing well, you're my friend, or you're not even my friend, you don't even know me from a can of paint. I'm doing well, and you're like, damn, this guy's doing really, really good, right? He gotta be cheating. He gotta be getting help.
Yes.
He gotta be lying.
Yes.
Why? Because it makes me feel better about myself.
I love
and
that.
what
That's dope.
and
That's
what my
fire.
shortcomings
Hell
are.
yeah.
100%.
You know what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's
Like,
dope.
Whatever
100%.
my shortcomings are, now you're taking away from me being me. I think I'm me, but
Yes.
you're doing way more than I am. Now I gotta figure out a way to be able to spout my chest up, and the way to do it is to poke holes in your success.
That's right.
And a lot of times people feel like that
Agreed.
it's foul,
Agreed.
but a lot of times people feel like
Nah, that's
Yeah,
that's
he's
that,
right, he's right, he's
fire.
right,
Really,
he's right.
really, definitely.
But you know something funny when you look at real estate, and I always tell people I don't question people's numbers, especially when you don't know their level of relationships, right? And this is why I say that, because a lot of the times when people get deals, they're getting a deal from a deal from a deal, meaning that thing is stepped on a few times.
Right.
So, for instance, Welb got the deal. The deal Welb won 100,000. June get it. June won $120. G get it. G won $140. By the time it get to Q, it's $160. There is still room
Yep.
to make money. But if I had the relationship with Welb, I would have got it for the 100,000. So like this house right here, I got it because I got it directly from the Jew, the bank Jew me, right? The Jewish guy that sold it directly to me because of relationships. That's why I don't question numbers, because I'm like, you don't know the magnitude of the relationships that he have. You're getting a deal from a deal from a deal.
Right.
most people nowadays are wholesaling deals they're a wholesaler of a wholesaler of a wholesaler.
Of a wholesaler.
Yeah, a lot of that thing is stepped
That's
on a
how
lot.
that's how I got that property in Queens I was talking about.
Yeah.
I got it directly from an estate situation. And the attorney that's representing them were like, hey, I got somebody that can buy the property. Called me up and said, hey, would you be interested in it? I told I want to buy it at this price. I'll give you all cash. They said, okay, bet, let's do it.
Now that's why his numbers make sense. Right. So for those who don't understand numbers, if you're gonna question anything, be more understanding of his relationships. Correct. He told you he has 21 years in real estate. One thing you cannot do is teach time, right? Some of the people that he might have been dealing with before might have been LOs, they could have been loan officers, now they big boys, right? The rapport he's built with these guys, they're gonna, because they know he's gonna come and his money's legit. He ain't gonna play with their bread. Right. So it's not that, when you're dealing with a seasoned investor, you play a little bit right. Because you know for a fact, I need them to make my money. Because if I got a deal, let's say I got a house under contract, wholesale-wise, for 90 days, I got to get rid of it for 90 days.
Move it, man.
Yes, if I can't get it off, I don't make no money off of it. So I need guys like him, so therefore I can unload it. So therefore they're going to always take care of a guy like him, and a guy like me, and a guy like you, and a guy like you, because investors always get things on the top.
Now, here's the thing that to segue to that, that's the reason why I say that where we going into the 2024, 2025 is the greatest opportunity of our life.
I already know.
The greatest opportunity of our life. And now I want the people, the audience that's going to watch this, and be honest with yourself. Have you prepared yourself for the opportunity that is coming?
What do you think?
Most of them know.
Because you know why? We know those, there are ones that sit around and talk about what's happening. There are ones that watch what happened. We just happen to be the guys that are actually making it happen. So a lot of times, people choose to sit on a bench and laugh about the person that missed the shot. Okay. But you don't even want to get in the game. But you over here laughing about the guy that at least had the heart to take the shot.
That's right.
And that's where we glorify now, right? Because I don't have the heart as you. When you say you went down to your last 90,000, most people would have tapped out and just got a corporate little job and called it a day. Right? Especially coming from a foreign background, because it's a safer way, right? But sometimes safe ain't always safe when you're meant to be so great. How you gonna be great when you're not playing your cards the way you're supposed to play your cards? You know, the one thing I love what he said, guys, and I hope it registers to everybody, is taking your shots and also believing in yourself. That's more vital than anything, because even all the money he lost, it helped build his confidence where he was able to do things on his own now. See, that's what I got the most out of this whole conversation. When you said, I lost a lot, but it built me to this moment, because you're getting your flowers from your past traumas and your past dramas and your past mess-ups and your hiccups and your mistakes. But I always feel like you learn forward.
It's a fact.
We learn forward. We don't learn backwards. We learn forward, right? By me falling off and thinking I fell off, but in reality, I was falling forward because my experience is worth more than the money. Yes. The lesson of the pain, actually, I'm not going through it again. I already know what that is.
And you know what's so dope with that?
We don't date exes, right?
What you just said?
We don't date exes.
No. What Q said was so dope about that, right? And then I mentioned a couple of the deals on how I just finished doing them, right? And then now you think back during the last 3-4 years, the buzzwords, and people talking about becoming your own bank. I didn't even realize I was my own bank.
Big time.
I didn't even realize I became my own bank, bro, because I put my head down and I'm just working. And I did not need to use life insurance to do it.
I know. You know how you know you're a bank? Look at your mailbox. Anybody that own anything, all they want to do is keep giving you money.
All day.
Why would an investor want to give an investor more money?
I want to throw my phone because my phone is ringing all day because people trying to throw me money. All day trying to give me money.
Every day.
And the opportunities, and now it goes back again to, I became my own bank as far as what I just described with buying that property and saying I'm going to buy that property and pay cash for it. The average person would say, why would he use his own money? The reason why I could use my own money is because they were willing to give it to me for $75,000 less because I said I'm going to put up cash.
Of course.
Because I can close, no contingencies, I just want the property.
Let's get it done.
I own the property. I could take that property right now if I wanted to and go to a bank and say, hey, can I give money on this property?
You heard the Haitian? Hey, you heard that?
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those things, as you said, what we've been through, you've been through, June been through, I've been through, you don't realize how much it prepared you for the great opportunities that's dropped on your lap.
100% facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing that I want people to get with the whole conversations that we're having is being prepared. Bet on yourself. Stop listening to the rhetoric that's being put out there because most of it that's being presented is all bullshit anyways.
Right. Because it's all image. Like right now, and I told a guy the other day, we were in my shop. Anybody know me personally knows I love being a barber. And the reason being is because I wouldn't meet guys like June, I would meet guys like G, I would meet guys like these guys. My best people in my life came to my barbershop.
Crazy. That's beautiful.
And they become my blessing. They become family to me. Meaning, when you're sitting on that one-on-one, it's therapeutic, right? You're telling me your personal life and what you've gone through and experiences.
Dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your...
You build a bond.
Mhm.
You build a bond because he knows you're protecting his most sacred moments or her most sacred moments. And I've learned that being a vessel is not only verbally, but with your ears also. So I've learned sometimes the best people in life are some of the people that are the best listeners, right? And I've learned, people say, yo, I act a lot older, like, because I've been seasoned by so many people, by hearing so many different stories. It actually prepared me to moments like today, right? And when I sit here with you right now, and in June and G had the heart to go to Chicago and take a risk. He had the heart. Guys like that is the guys I like to be around. I don't want to be with the colonel who's hiding in the back. Come on the front line with us, and we're going to go to war together.
That's why I said we need warriors, man.
Come on, grab your shield and your sword and tell me what to do, but be right here with me.
And stop talking about the delivery and listen to the message.
Come on, bro.
Stop being so sensitive.
I've demoed my own houses, bro.
Bro, come on, man.
That. Demoing houses. Dudes don't even want to do that. In the beginning, in order to preserve money, I had to learn how to preserve money.
Yeah, but people
demoed and everything.
Today, people, you're not successful. You're not a boss if you get your hands dirty.
Listen, I watched Warren Buffett, right? One of the greatest investors of our era, stand in line and wait for a hamburger. And this is Warren Buffett, who don't have to do it. I watch Warren Buffett keeps the same house that he's been in for years.
Same one.
Same car.
Same one.
So
one of the wealthiest guys in the world.
Come on.
Okay?
But it shows the entitlement and the integrity of people. Sometimes the people that are willing to do that and get down and dirty with, they're the CEO, but they're in there sweeping the bathroom with the janitor.
I'll do it in a heartbeat.
That man is the truth.
In a heartbeat.
That guy, that person I usually look at it as, they definitely been from the bottom. Because if you don't know how to behave at the bottom, if you've never been at the bottom, if you start at the top, you fall from the top, it's over for you.
That's right.
Right? So the trials and tribulations actually prepared you for who you becoming even greater. And I already know there's greater things to come. So tell us what is more to come from you?
Well, the biggest thing, can I say it? I'm the hottest brother out here moving, bro.
Listen.
I'm just being real with you, bro. I know, and you want to know what? I don't care if the world believes it or not. I know it.
Listen.
I know in this space of real estate, in this space of speaking the game and speaking from a position, because I know what I'm talking about in terms of what I'm sharing with you.
Yes.
I'm second to nobody, bro.
But if you know your worth, why would you lower it?
I agree with you.
Why?
I agree with you completely.
Right, because again, you know who you are.
My goal now for 2024, I'm super excited. I got some amazing things coming up. It's going to be put out shortly. But the goal is to continue educating the people. The goal is to tell the people the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, the good, the bad, the ugly of investing in real estate. That's what it is. That's what I'm here for, is to show you guys the day in and day outs of my wins, my losses, and how I overcome the pitfalls. All of that. That's what my goal is to show people the business of real estate. And my goal is that there's going to be a lot of changes, and people need leadership to help them navigate through the things that are going to be occurring, because we haven't seen nothing yet. We haven't seen nothing yet.
It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, and one thing why I love real estate and I bet on real estate is because real estate is essential.
It is.
It's essential.
Tangible asset.
You have to have a roof over your head. So I want to be the person that's supplying it.
I'm with you.
Right? That's what I want to do. I want to be the person that's supplying it. And that's the goal. That's the plan, is I'm going to educate the people as much as possible, show the people the game. And don't believe a word I tell you. I tell people all day, don't believe a word I tell you. If anything, challenge me.
Yes.
But let's keep it respectful though.
Yes.
But challenge me.
You know what's crazy is when I was younger, I used to base how close you are with somebody based on the tenure and the time you know the person. It's crazy how you can just meet somebody and you already know they're about to play a major part in your life. Me and Welby actually talked the other day. We're trying to put a little tour together. Let me take that back.
We're going to do it.
Not a big tour together.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen, right? Because we don't care about fitting into boys' clubs. We care about educating our people. I care about helping minds become greater. I care about inspiring. He cares about the same things. So when you stand on the same principles, it's only right that y'all related, right? I tell people it's not where you're born, it's our mentalities, right? And that's how you create family. When you have the same mentality. Right? I have people I'm every bit of blood related, but we're not the same. We come from the same tribe, but we don't, right? Because there's a mentality that comes along with success and understanding that God will only pour into a cup that's big enough to pour into others. So if the idea you have is not big enough, God won't pour into that cup because it's only big enough for you. So sometimes when you see a person hit 5 figures, 6 figures, it's because their vision is not big enough to consume what God's mission is. I don't care if you're a Muslim or Christian or Baptist, one God, one people. He understands that we all must build up our brothers and sisters. When a person is like that, it'll always get the blessings. So sometimes the numbers you hear this man say is because he's receiving his blessings, right? Because he's living in his calling and in his purpose. When a person is living in their purpose, there's nothing you can do to challenge it. Because the devil may speak, but God always going to protect. It's just what it is, man.
And I do want to stress with people, don't pedestalize me and make it look like there's something special about what I'm doing.
Agreed.
This works everywhere. So I don't care what part of the country that you're in, this works everywhere because the fundamental process is applied across the board.
100%.
And then if it doesn't work in the market that you're in, with the education that you get put onto, you learn how to pivot so that you can continue finding success, right?
Yes.
But this works everywhere
100%.
throughout the entire country.
Yes.
And when people are hearing my numbers on things, I try to explain to them, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. That's the reason why, if you notice, not one time this brother asked me, how many units do you have? Not one time did he ask me, how many units do I have? Where you have a lot of people leading with the unit count. Not the net count, the unit count.
How much money you making, that's what matters more.
Yeah, who cares about how much units you got? Let's talk how much money you putting in your pocket.
So look at the narrative. Would you rather 1,000 units that make you $1,000 or 1 unit that make you $1 million?
Let's go.
I'll take the 1 unit that makes me $1 million.
And then if you think that it's not possible, it's done every day.
Yes.
I'm living proof of that, and I know people that are doing it too. And they don't even have an Instagram following that you'd even want to pay attention to. So don't think that social media is where the winners are.
No.
Some of us are on there, but that's not the case. So don't think that you can't do it. Don't pedestalize me. Don't pedestalize Q, nor my brother June. We're just like you. You could do the same thing that we doing too.
Just get focused and work on yourself. And like you said, like the one thing y'all got to stand on is believe in yourself. Right? Educate yourselves. Because you got to learn that once you start educating yourself, the best thing is you can see between cap and delusion, right? You can see it. If a person tell me, yo, I'm going to give you 50% on your money, I'm running. Right?
Can we speak on that, please? I mean, I know we about... Yo, listen, here's the thing. And I'm not throwing shots at nobody. I said it on other podcasts.
It sound like predatory lending, right?
The same way
50%.
same way people are talking about you or me or June or whoever else, guess what? We talk about you too.
Yes.
We talk about you too. And here's the reason why. The numbers are the numbers are the numbers are the numbers.
That's what it is.
That's just what it is. It's nothing personal. So when you seeing people in the industry doing certain things, you paying attention, you watching, and you know that is impossible. It's impossible. And then when you can't have a road behind you to provide the proof of that.
Sound like cap to me.
Come on, man.
Well, Hov said men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Either you're putting them on the board or you're not.
Every one of my mentees, every one of my students, they'll attest to it. I provide real receipts.
Yes.
Don't just hear me. Let me show you exactly what I did. Here goes the property. Here goes the address. Here goes the mortgage statement. Here goes the deed. Here goes the payments that happen every month. Here goes the leases. Here you want. Contact that tenant and ask, does Welby own this property? It's not that difficult.
Listen,
it's not that difficult.
When you know who you are, you know who you are. You know something crazy the other day? It's a little off topic, but I want a lot of people to hear this before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Since it's about a lot of finances. I was talking to a young guy the other day. He got a stock account, and I convinced him to get into stocks, and he's doing really well. So I said to him the other day, he wants to buy a house, and he wants to buy an investment property. So he said, but Q, they want me to have $48,000 in the bank. I said, use your stock account.
Oh,
He
it's
goes,
leverage.
yeah. I said, leverage your stock account. He goes, what do you mean? I said, send him 2 statements from your stock account, and that counts same premise.
And you don't have to cash it out either.
No. So when I said that to him, he was like, I said, they just want to make sure you have access to the capital.
That's right.
And he goes, I never knew that. And I said, yo, brother, that's the positive thing about having people you can call and ask. I said, because once you become, and you've been through the storm, you become more solution-based. There hasn't been a question I haven't heard yet. And I know for a fact, you start getting to the point, but I heard this before. I know what to do in this situation, right? So I just want to throw that in there because I thought it was so dope that he's built over $48,000 in a stock portfolio. He's only 26.
And he's going to leverage that to get himself a property.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things. Get yourself aligned with people that are really doing what you aspire to do, truly, man. You'll be surprised. Your learning curve gets shortened ridiculously short. And you can get to it much faster. I want to see you be better than me, faster than me. I'm not mad at you. I'm happy for you. You know?
What's for you is for you.
That's right.
And what's for me is for me.
That's right.
Right? But, anybody want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want to say one thing. What I do want to say is this mic on. Y'all got the mic together now? All right. So what I do want to say is, for you aspiring entrepreneurs and such, I just want you guys to just never get intimidated. I know you guys watch Q, you guys watch Welby, you guys watch all these other people on social media, but don't get intimidated about their success. Everything is a day by day, effort by effort, stone by stone, brick by brick process. And if you take it that way, then you will be successful. I remember when Q came to me, he was like, yo, I'm just starting to do real estate over here. I've known Q over a decade now. Yes. I'm just starting to do real estate. Yes. Or I got an artist and I'm doing this. This artist guy ended up getting signed. He started doing real estate. He started buying properties. He started doing his TikTok. That shit went crazy. He started doing Instagram. That shit went crazy. I remember when I ran into Welby after years and years of not seeing him, and he was like, listen, I got a few properties. I ran into him at one of our seminars, actually, you know, at St. John's years ago. I'm doing real estate. I got a few things going on. He might have had, I don't even know how many properties you had at the time, but it wasn't crazy like this, right? Since then, actually, I don't think he was a rent. He was a landlord yet. He was really just
flipping.
I remember the day when he called me. He's like, "Yo, I got a light bulb. I'm gonna start buying rental properties." You know, and now I don't want to say the number, but you're dozens of properties in.
Dozens.
Now you're doing well. So I say all that as a testament to just day by day, going and putting a stone on top of a stone, which we don't take advantage of enough. We look at another man, and if another man is successful, we're like, I ain't gonna do that because he's been doing it so long.
Yes.
Just one foot in front of the other foot, and then before you know it, you walk the mile.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So just take that into consideration, guys and girls. I don't want to alienate the girls, but take that into consideration with your next step. Just do your thing, man.
I love it.
Before you know it.
I love it.
That's why I say that he's my consigliere. I'm telling you, because when there's some issues, I say, I got to call June. Yo, June, what do you think? And mind you, it has nothing to do with necessarily real estate. It's about life.
Yes.
Extremely intelligent, brother.
Yes.
You know how much I love you.
He is.
Thank you.
Aside from that, I mean, at my best 197, I mean, I'm just getting started. You know, I thank all the people that rock out with me. I thank all of my mentees. I thank the people that believe in me, that understands that what I'm sharing comes from a good space. But I'm from New York, so sometimes I can ruffle a little bit feathers. You know, that happens at times, but that's just what it is. But as I said again, I'm here to give you guys the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate. And come in the game, man. There's plenty of room for all of us, man. So come on in here and have some fun.
And going over what June said, sometimes in life we judge people based on the chapters we walked in. Of course, the story looks good after the story's in the middle, right? Or closer towards the end. Sometimes you guys got to understand, you got to go through the beginning of the process to enjoy the ending of the process. Don't see where he is and get, like he said, intimidated. Sometimes when you talk to guys, that's why it's better to know his whole testimony. The losing the money, the fights and thinking about like, yo, this is crazy, but still staying in there fighting, right? This is what you need to learn more. So when a person is only telling you the goods, then where's the bads? Where's the uglies? Where is it? Right?
Where's your test?
Come on. You call me and just tell me all the pros, where's the cons? Right? So looking at those aspects, and I hope from this interview you guys get That is a story before it became where it is. And the mountain is not fully climbed. He's still going up, right? So understanding sacrifice today for your greater tomorrow, but knowing the word is sacrifice, right? A lot of people are scared to sacrifice. But if you don't sacrifice for today, your tomorrow will never be greater. And that's a harsh reality. But again, tap into my guys, stay focused, and don't let that go over your head.